Hello and welcome. You're watching Syrian Sage for an episode of Ask the Mystic. How this works is that you submit your spiritual questions to me, and then I give you spiritual answers, and then maybe you can have a spiritual awakening or something. On today's episode, I am going to respond to a message I received on Reddit a while ago. And here's what it says. I'm going through a very bad time of my life. Got any tips or advice for me? I'm not looking for anything specific. I got everything messed up: career, relationship, and money. So any advice will be appreciated. Any tips you follow when you have a hard time? This is such a great question. And thank you so much for honoring me and trusting me with getting you some answers to that. Ever since I got this question, I've been thinking about all of the things that helped me to get where I am right now. I live a very peaceful and happy life. I'm surrounded by things that bring me very deep joy and fulfillment. Every bit of energy that I receive benefits me. I feel that I've finally found and I am living my life's purpose. I feel that I have a great deal of energetic protection surrounding me at all times. And I feel very beloved by those who know me. I feel appreciated, respected, and worthy of having all of my needs met. I feel completely worthy of all of the things my heart truly desires also. I feel completely worthy of all the things because the things that I want are good things. They are based on my personal values and my personal spiritual beliefs. And no matter what your values are, you can still work to create the life that you truly desire for yourself. So I want you to know that you can arrive at this place too, in a place of feeling your own worthiness to create the life that you want for yourself. This isn't the kind of life that happens to you as if by accident or because of somebody else telling you what to do, like they have the answers for you. I could even try telling you what to do, and I could use all the words I want to attempt accomplishing that. But you are the person who needs to resonate with those words and give yourself permission to start building the life that you desire. You don't need to pay for some product to get you there. You don't need to perform some special fancy ritual in order to get there. You can learn about all kinds of secret wisdom from all kinds of secret groups without ever joining them. You don't have to be wealthy in order to discover what is truly valuable to you. The hero's journey, which is the journey you are on, is not going to look like a linear journey upward. It can be very messy and deeply challenging. One of the keys to surviving is to understand yourself and to design and plan your life so that you have opportunities to make choices that benefit you, no matter what is happening around you externally. So today's video is going to be all about life advice from an Akashic Records reader. Woo! Okay, so tip number 1, know thyself. Learn everything that you can about yourself. Talk to professionals who study people for a living and learn what they know about human nature. You can use this information to help you understand yourself. Learn what your fears are. Explore what is referred to as the shadow of yourself, so that you can understand your fears. If you understand them, you can accept them. You can accept that they exist so that you can overcome them powerfully. If you have never visited a therapist before, find a therapist. Therapy is for everyone. Life is hard, and therapy can help you with coping skills. And these coping skills are from someone who is professionally licensed to help you psychologically. So I recommend therapy for everybody. Also, learn what your strengths are. Learn about your passion. Learn about your desires so that you have good reasons to create the life that you want. Learn everything that you can about your physical body and your body's needs. Learn where your limits are so that you can be better disciplined about not doing too little or too much to meet your body's needs. Another thing that I recommend is to learn about your family history and learn about your ancestors. Learn about your ancestral trauma. Learn what kind of epigenetic factors could be influencing your responses to stress. Did your family survive any kind of major life stress event like poverty, war, disease, famine, any of those things? If any of these kinds of things affected your mother while she was pregnant with you, or if these kinds of things affected your caregivers from the point of early infancy onward, then your body knows about the stress and you wouldn't even need to remember stress happening to you personally. Humans are super sensitive. We're social creatures. It's super easy for us to absorb stress through our relationships with others, especially our family members and especially our parents and caregivers from when we are babies and children. So learn about that. Learn about stress and its effects on your health. If you are engaging in any self-sacrificing behaviors in your response to stress, you're eventually going to create illness and disease in your body. Eventually, your body will refuse to cooperate with you, and it's going to just not answer to the demands that you're placing on it. So do not make it your life to ignore the needs of your body. Like, don't just, oh, I'll finish this thing and then I'll go use the bathroom, or I'll finish this task and then I'll allow my thirst to be quenched with a sip of water. Like, just don't do that to yourself. Don't be in the habit of rejecting yourself, basically. Another thing that might help is to learn about your personal astrology, like your natal astrological chart. When I started learning about astrology, I was super skeptical. And I'm not talking about looking at horoscopes every day. I'm talking about learning about astrology as if you intend to become an astrologer yourself. Like, go find books about astrology. Like, there's a book called Parker's Astrology that's a great reference guide. I recommend that book to everybody, and you can find used copies of it at a used bookstore. There's another book called Everything. I think it's called Everything You Will Ever Need to Know About Astrology or something like that. These books have been around for a long time, decades. So you can definitely find them. Even if you can't afford to buy them brand new, you can find them used. So learn about the zodiac, learn about the planets, learn where the planets are located in your own astrological birth chart. Learn about the houses of astrology and the geometric aspects where they are formed between the planets in your chart. So this will help you to learn where your strengths and your limitations are. And this is just like how the cards were dealt from when you were born. It's not telling you like, this is everything that's gonna happen to you. Like, don't think of it that way. You are the authority figure in your own life, basically. And if you know how, like, okay, this is what you've got, this is how things were at the time of your birth, and these are the challenges that you have before you to overcome, that will help you to stop blaming yourself for how your cards were dealt. Like, as if you set this all up for yourself in advance to like make yourself feel bad or to blame yourself or to like assign fault. Like, well, I'm just wired this way. Like, don't be like that. That's self-destructive. Okay. Learn where your challenges are so you can give yourself some grace. Okay. All right. So anyway, know what kind of energy you came from and learn about where you're going in the future. So again, this is just how the cards were dealt, but it's worthwhile to understand these are electromagnetic field interactions happening between the planets when they create geometries or geometric aspects between each other. Those geometric aspects have an electromagnetic interaction, and electromagnetic fields are powerful enough to affect fetal development. So, and that's not what this video is about, but like, you know, if you're a skeptic like me, you're going to take it that far. You're going to be like, well, what's the science behind this stuff? Anyway, that's why I talk about like, maybe you would be interested in learning more about yourself and just start somewhere. So to hire a personal astrologer if you want. And if you want to do that, I know somebody, my personal astrologer, who's been my personal astrologer for years. She is incredibly gifted. Like, this is her life. We talk about astrology all the time. And I'm not a professional astrologer, but I feel like I've learned enough from her that I could probably become one if I want to. So if you want a recommendation, just leave me a comment and I will follow up with you. You can also use the contact form on my website, and I'll leave a link in the description. So anyway, the next thing I would recommend is that you learn about techniques to move energy through the body. So this could be like EFT tapping, right? All that stuff. Or yoga, or Reiki healing, or Qigong, or whatever you find that works for you. There's no one technique to rule them all. Moving energy through the body, especially your stress, is very essential to maintaining a healthy energetic equilibrium within your body. So do your best to maintain a state of presence with yourself. Life isn't about being in a perfect state of bliss all the time. It's not about ignoring or bypassing suffering, but surviving suffering and transmuting your suffering into something else, something that benefits you. A very good way to accomplish this is to write about your painful experiences, because what that does is it moves the stress response that's happening in the back of the brain and it moves it into the front of the brain. So if you're journaling to help you transmute stress, just get it all out on paper, because when this just feels like a trigger in the back of the brain and it creates stress, you create consciousness and meaning around that stress, and that helps you to transmute it and move it through and move on. So journaling is good for that reason alone, even if you throw the whole thing away and you don't keep it and you never read it again. Okay, you can do that if you want. You don't have to journal and let anybody see it. You could just burn it. Do what works for you. Okay, so find meaning in your life. That's what I'm going to segue to from there, is that if you don't give yourself any sense of meaning to things, or if you see nothing but meaningless all around you, you will be drawn to meaningless pleasure and distraction. You will lose sight of what makes you feel alive and what brings you joy, like true joy. If you don't feel alive, you can be very easily controlled by other people. Don't let that happen to you. Remember, you are the authority figure in your own life. So you shouldn't ever hand over your freedom to others for the sake of simplifying your life. Healthy boundaries. That's the next thing I want to say. Healthy boundaries are essential to having healthy relationships and having a happy life. If you always feel drained around certain people, or you always feel irritated or frustrated around them, you need to learn how to communicate where your limits are, and you need to be willing to enforce your own boundaries with people. A boundary, by the way, is not a please, could you stop doing that? That is not a boundary, that's a request. A boundary is not about controlling other people. It's not about telling other people how to live their lives because of your boundary. No, it's about how you control your own self in your own life. Regardless of what other people do in their life, your boundaries are there for you. They're not about other people. So, it's really about how do you manage yourself and your life and your goals as a sovereign being in control of your own life. Okay, and then finally, I'm gonna get close to wrapping this up. Follow and surround yourself with people who share your values. Listen to the advice of those who aren't using it to get something out of you. Okay? Don't listen to the advice of unhappy people. Don't make the kind of choices that miserable people make. Don't give your energy to people who won't give you theirs. All of your relationships should represent an equal exchange of energy. So I am going to wrap this up here. Thank you so much for watching. And if you are interested in learning from me, I teach. If you are interested in booking with me, I can read for you in a private one-on-one session. I also do video readings for those of you who would prefer to have a reading that you can hold on to forever. And I do lots of other things. I teach classes and I study and practice divinatory arts like geomancy and tarot, and that's just all fun stuff. But that's really just for entertainment, and it's very fun for me. I love it when I see people getting accurate results from things like geomancy. So I teach classes on that, and classes are happening through the summer of 2026 at a place in Graham, Washington called the Northwest Nest. If you are interested in learning from me, I will leave a link in the description to the Northwest Nest, and you can learn about geomancy if you want. And then for the rest of you who aren't in the area and you want to learn about that stuff, I will be turning this into an e-course in a little bit more time. I just have some more materials I want to add to that. Anyway, if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.